Welcome to my channel Vaira Citadel. In my last video, we worked out some problems by interpreting data presented in the form of a simple table. And today in this video, we are going to learn about data presented in the form of graphs, pictorial representation, graphs. We will be working out problems by interpreting data in the form of a line graph, a bar graph, and from a pie chart. Now we will see the differences between these three forms of graphs and learn when to use line graph and when to use bar chart and when to use pie chart. Usually the line graph is used when periodic samples of an outgoing event is plotted. Suppose for example we want to plot the temperatures for a patient exactly at each hour. So how the temperature varies for a patient each hour. In this case, we will use simple line graph and bar graph. Usually in a bar graph or bar chart, the average is plotted. The average value across different units of time is plotted. For example, the average temperature for each day for a patient. Throughout the day you take so many values of temperature, morning 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, evening 4 o'clock, night 12 o'clock. So find out the average temperature of all the four, and that is plotted against Monday. Again the same thing for Tuesday. So you chart the average temperature of Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as a bar. So that is called bar chart. And it is better than the line graph in this case. And pie chart, when do we use pie chart? When pieces of the whole are visually displayed, then we use pie chart. For example, in the same case, fever case, you want to show the percentage of people with varying degrees of fever, like percentage of people with very high fever, percentage of people with high fever, percentage of people with medium fever, and percentage of people with no fever. So these four categories you want to show in the form of a picture, then you use pie chart. So, and also for example, in a budget, if you want to show how each rupee, the 100 paise in each rupee, how is it spent by the government? So that's what is shown in the budget. And this also we can, here also we can make use of pie chart. And this is the example which we are going to see in our illustration in the last few slides. And the line graph is also known as Cartesian graph. It is named after the scientist, the French philosopher and mathematician René Descartes. And he believed in dualism. What is dualism? The dual nature, two opposite two, like mind and body, they are separate. These dualist people, they believe that they are separate, and good and evil, right and wrong. So there is no in between. So they believe in dualism. They don't believe in the fluid nature of the world. So this graph, line graph, being mathematician, he invented this line graph, which is also named after him, René Descartes, Cartesian graph, where two parameters, again duality, two parameters are taken into account, and the variation of one parameter with respect to another parameter is drawn in the form of a line. So these value of two parameters are plotted on the x-axis and y-axis of a graph, and it's usually on the x-axis, which is the horizontal axis, and the y-axis, which is represented by the vertical axis. And in the horizontal axis, the IV is plotted. IV is independent variable, And on the y-axis, the vertical axis, it is the dependent variable is plotted. What is independent variable and dependent variable? For definition of this variable, please look into my older videos where I have explained them with examples. And while talking about line graphs, always the slope of the line indicates the magnitude of change between these parameters, between any 2 points. The steeper the slope, the greater is the change. We will see it in the graph which is given in the next few slides. And in the origin of x-axis and y-axis, the coordinates are always 0, 0. The first 0 corresponds to the x-axis and the second 0 corresponds to the y-axis. And for all the positive values of x and y-axis, the origin is in the lower left corner of the graph. Now, look at this graph carefully. And this is a line graph showing the number of cancer cases in India. And see, this is the x-axis where year is plotted. This horizontal axis is the x-axis. And this is the y-axis. The vertical axis is the y-axis where the number of cancer cases in lakhs. These numbers represent in lakhs. So this x-axis is the independent variable. The year is independent variable and the number of cancer cases is dependent variable, and it is marked on the y-axis because the number of cases depend on the year. As the years go by, the number of cases increases or decreases, whatever the case may be. And as you see here in the graph, look at the shape of the line. Between 2010 and 13, these 2 points, 10, 10, it is horizontal, no change, indicating no change. Here also it is 10 and here also it is 10. The line is horizontal. And here there is slope. And this slope is steeper than this one. This is almost horizontal. So meaning that the changes between the increase between the years 2013 to 2023 is much more than the changes between 2023 to 25. That is what the steeper slope indicates. And note that the graph is projected up to 2025. Of course, we have not reached 25, but this is according to the data, it is projected up to 2025 year. Now look at the first question. See, before that, look into the directions, read it properly. Questions 1, 2, 3 refer to the line graph above. We have seen the graph. Now the questions relate to that line graph. 1, 2, 3 relate to the line graph given in the previous slide. Now question 1 is, in the last decade, the cancer cases have risen by A, B, C, D. 4 options are given. And for your convenience sake, I have worked out the solution in the same slide. So it doesn't mean that immediately you look into the solution. You try on your own and just look into the solution for checking your answer. That will be better for you. So how do we work it out? This is a very straight problem. And decade, you know that decade means 10 years. And now what is the current year is? 2023. So the term last decade means from 2013 to 23. And look into the number of cases against the year 2023 is 14.6 lakhs. Remember that the number of cancer cases are in lakhs. So look into the x-axis for the year 2023, and what is the point given exactly opposite to that 2023 is 14.6 14.6 in the y-axis. So the number of cases in that particular year is 14.6 lakhs, current year. And now decade, so 10 years before, that is 2013. Look at what is the point in the y-axis against 2013. It was 10 lakhs. So the difference between 14.6 and 10 lakhs is 4.6 lakhs. And so the correct 4.6. So the correct answer is B. Okay. Look at the second question. What percentage the rise in cancer cases will be by the year 2025 from the current year? By how much percentage there will be a rise in cancer cases from now to 2025? That is the question, and 4 options are given. And how will we work it out? Now, what is the number of the cases in the year 2025? It is 15.7 lakhs. And what is the number of the cases currently? It is 14.6. So what is the rise? So you subtract 14.6 from 15.7. You are getting 1.1 lakh. That is the rise in the number of cases. And what is this rise for? Rise from 14.6. The rise is not for 15.7. The rise is from 14.6. So this 1.1 lakh has the number of cases have risen from 14.6 lakhs. So therefore, what is the percentage in rise? So if the rise is for 14.6, then what is it for 100? So 1.1 divided by 14.6 into 100. That will give you 7.53. That is the percentage rise from current year to the estimated rise in 2025. So the option C is the correct one. Now, look at the third question. Select the incorrect statement. Select the wrong statement, incorrect. The first statement is, in the last decade, cancer cases have risen from around 10 lakhs to 14.6 lakhs. Yes, it is true, correct. And the B, the percentage rise in cancer cases from current year to 2025 will be 7.53%. See, we have already worked out the previous question, question number 2, we got the percentage in rise from the year, current year 2023 to 25, and we got the answer 7.53. So it is used in the following question. So that is why I have told you earlier that always your rough sheet work should be organized. Write the question number and do the rough work, so that you could use the previously derived answer for the following questions. You did not do it again. That way you save your time, and timing is very, very important here. You have to do all the questions quickly. Then only you will be able to finish the entire paper. So the second statement is also correct, 7.53, which we have already worked it out. And the C statement, from 2010 to 2013, the number of cancer cases remained the same. Yes, it was 10 lakhs and 10 lakhs. In the year, look into the year 2010, and against that you are seeing 10 lakhs, and again 2013, 10 lakhs. So it remains the same. Yes, true. The statement is correct. And the last statement, D, where it says the trend in cancer cases in India is ever decreasing. No, it is not decreasing. It is on the other hand, it is increasing. So this is the D is the incorrect statement. So solution for this is select the T. The option D is incorrect. We have to select the incorrect one, because the trend is increasing. See, this is a bar graph, and where the percentage of people of different age group who took the vaccination are shown here. And the percentage of people who took second dose and those who took booster dose are shown separately in separate bars. See, here is the percentage of people who took second dose and those who took booster dose. So these denote booster and these bars represent second dose. And because they are shown side by side for you to compare. And here the table is also given at the bottom. And FLW means it's a group frontline workers. And HCW means healthcare workers who took the vaccination. And age group 60 and above. And then this is 45 to 59. And this blue bar is 18 to 44 years. So the entire thing represents the table. This is also given in the graph for you to easy. You need not look into this graph because it is very crowded, 96-97% see. So you can look into the table underneath. Sometimes they may give both the graph and the table also. Sometimes they may not give. If the table is given, it's better for you. So now you understand the graph. So here this is the bars showing the percentage of people of various age group who took the second dose, and this one represent those who took the booster dose. Now we are going to compare. Here in the table this shows booster dose and this column shows the percentage of people who took the second dose. See this column and this column booster dose, and this column represent the age group, blue FLW frontline workers, the yellow bar healthcare workers, and this gray bar 60 and above years old, and orange bar represent 45 to 59 years old people, and blue represent the 18 to 44 years young people. Now we'll pass on to the questions. Now the questions, look at the direction. For questions number 1 to 3, refer to the graph above. And what does the first question say? What is the percentage difference in HCW between those who are eligible and took the second dose and those who are eligible and took the booster dose? HCW is healthcare workers. So look into only healthcare workers, not the other bars. Don't bother about the other age groups or not even the frontline workers. And also don't get confused by these words, who are eligible and took second dose. Only those who are eligible will take the second dose and only those who are eligible will take the booster dose. It is only to make you confused. So just look at the number of percentage of people who took that dose, second dose or the booster dose. And you can even look into the table instead of looking into the graph, because the data, it is straight away given. The question is very straight. And so the percentage of HCW who took the second dose is 97, which is greater. The who took the second dose is greater than the booster dose. And percentage of HCW who took the booster dose is 70. So what is the difference? 97 minus 7 is 27%. It's already in percentage. So you need not convert it into percentage. All the data are in percentage. So B is the correct option, 27. So only the question is very big. Your working out is very simple. So read it carefully. Don't get carried away by the big words or the sentences. Get the whole picture. Oh, the second question says, in which category of people do you find the greater difference between second dose and booster dose? As you see from the table, there is difference between those who took second dose and the number of people who took the booster dose. So which is more, the percentage of people who took second dose is more in all the category. Those who took second dose is more than those who took booster dose. But here the question is, where do you find the greatest difference? In which group you see the greatest difference between these two group of people? Those who took the second dose and those who took the booster dose. And here all the option here you don't have the healthcare workers. CW is not there, so you did not work out for the healthcare workers. But for all the other four categories, you have to work out the difference. So how will you work out the difference? Look at the two columns, that is second dose and booster dose. So as always, the second dose is more than the booster dose. So for FLW, it is 96 minus 78, which is 18. And for the age group 60 and above, the difference is 97 minus 39, 58. And for the other group 45 to 59, the difference is between 97 and 26, and the difference is 71, because I'm getting this from the two tables. You need not again look into the graph. Everything is given in the table. And in the group, the youngest group, 18 to 44 years of age group, the people, 92% have taken the second dose and only 20% have taken the booster dose. The difference is 72. Which one is the highest number? 72 out of all these things, 18, 58, 71, 72. 72 is the highest number. So where do we find the highest difference? In the group 18 to 44, which is A. So A is the correct option. Now question number 3 from the same graph, bar graph. Select the correct statement. So out of 4 options, you have to select the statement which is correct. A. The number of people who took booster dose is less than those who took second dose in all categories except 18 to 44. And B says the number of people who took booster dose is less than those who took second dose in all categories except the group 45 to 59. And C statement says the number of people who took booster dose is less than those who took second dose in all categories. We know already, we have seen that the percentage of people who took booster dose is less than those who took the second dose in all the categories. So that is the correct statement. All the other statements says except one group. So, but we know that in all the groups, people who took booster dose is lesser than those who took the second dose. So C is the correct option. So for the question number 3, we saw that the correct option is C, which says that the number of people who took booster dose is lesser than those who took second dose in all categories. So this is the correct option. C is the correct answer. See, what you are seeing here is a pie chart where the various parts of a whole is displayed. The whole in this case is 1 rupee as a whole. How this 1 rupee or 100 paise is split into various headings like salaries, pension, retirement benefits, operations, maintenance, loan dispersal, debt repayment, capital expenditure, interest payment, and subsidies and grants. How much goes to salaries out of this 100 paise, and how much is going to pension and retirement benefits? How much is going to operation maintenance? So that is given in the form of a pie chart. What you are seeing here, the 19% goes to blue. What does blue say? Salaries. And pension and retirement benefits, orange 9%, and operation and maintenance 4%. So look at the color, look at the headings. This is a government budget. So this is actually taken from the newspaper Hindu, where our Tamil Nadu government has given the budget for each rupee, how it will be spent by the government. So now we'll pass on to the questions. The directions given for question number 1 to 3 refer to the pie graph above. And question number 1 says the ratio of spending on loan dispersal to subsidies and grant is A, B, C, D. So this is a question on ratio. And read from the chart. The amount spent on loan dispersal is 3 paise. and the amount spent on subsidies and grant is 30 paise. So the ratio asked is loan dispersal to subsidies and grants. So what is the ratio? 3:30. And reducing this ratio, you can reduce this, both are divisible by 3. So on reducing this, we get 1:10. So where is 1:10? Option D. So D is the correct option. Look at the question number 2. Find out the heading in which the amount spent is exactly thrice that is spent on loan dispersal. So working on it, we get the solution like this. The amount spent on loan dispersal. You look at the table and the amount spent on loan dispersal is 3 paise. And what is thrice of this? Thrice of this is 9 paise. And where do you find 9 in the table? Against retired pension and retirement benefits. So it is the second option, which is pension and retirement benefits. And see again one more question. Out of this 4, which is correct? Only 4 is correct. Only 2 is correct. Both 2 and 4 are correct. And both 1 and 2. So this is again only to test your alertness. So be alert. So we got only answer pension and retirement benefits. Only, no other options, no other headings. So only 2. So only the second option is correct. So only 2. The B says only 2. So our choice is B is the correct option. Question number 3, which says which of the headings are in 1:1 ratio? Again, this is a question on ratio. Which of the headings are 1:1 ratio? That means which are in equal proportion. So look at the table and find out the 2 headings which have equal number. And you will see that debt repayment and capital expenditure are 11, both 11 each. So which option is correct? The B says debt repayment and capital expenditure. They are in equal proportion, 1:1. And again, there is one more question, which is correct. Only one pair is there in 1:1 ratio. That is only debt repayment and capital expenditure. So only B is correct. So the second option is correct. So the option second, which says only B, is the correct one. Okay. So 1:1 means 2 headings are in equal proportion. That is all to charts. Now we will look into certain types of data in my next video. Until then, bye bye. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel Vaira Citadel for more of learning. Thank you. Bye bye.